Hello friends, my name is Jigar Kumar Madhusudan Bhatt. Today I am going to present a talk on bonsai. Now let us begin the talk on bonsai. Bonsai or tray planting is a Japanese version of the original traditional Chinese art of penjing or penzai. Unlike penjing, which utilizes traditional techniques to produce entirely natural scenery in small pots, that mimic the grandiose shapes of real life scenery. The Japanese bonsai only attempts to produce small trees that mimic the shape of the real life trees. Similar versions of the art exist in other cultures, including the miniature living landscapes of Vietnamese Horn Non Bo. It was during the dynasty when painting was at its height that the art was first introduced in Japan. The loan word bonsai, a Japanese pronunciation of the original Chinese term penzai, has become an umbrella term in English, attached to many forms of diminutive potted plants and also on occasion to other living and non-living things. In the most restrictive sense, bonsai refers to miniaturized container grown trees adhering to Japanese traditions and principles. Purposes of bonsai are primarily contemplation for the viewer and the pleasant exercise of effort and ingenuity for the grower. By contrast with other plant cultivation practices, bonsai is not intended for production of the food or for medicine. Instead, bonsai practice focuses on long-term cultivation and shaping of one or more small trees growing in a container. A bonsai is created beginning with a specimen of source material. This may be cutting, seedling, or small tree of a species suitable for bonsai's development. Bonsai can be created from nearly any perennial woody stemmed trees or shrub species that produces true branches and can be cultivated to remain small through pot confinement with crown and root pruning. Some species are popular as bonsai material because they have characteristics such as small leaves and needles that make them appropriate for the compact visual scope of bonsai. The source specimen is shaped to be relatively small and to meet the aesthetic standards of bonsai, which emphasizes not the entirety of grand sceneries but rather only the tree itself. When the candidate bonsai nears its plant final size, it is planted in a display pot, usually one designed for bonsai display in one of the few accepted shapes and proportions. From that point forward, its growth is restricted by the pot environment. Throughout the year, the bonsai is shaped to limit growth, redistribute foliar vigor to areas requiring further development, and meet the artist's detailed designs. To practice of bonsai is sometimes confused with dwarfing, but dwarfing generally refers to research, discovery, creation of plants that are permanent genetic miniatures of existing species. Plant dwarfing often uses selective breeding or genetic engineering to create dwarf cultivars. Bonsai does not require genetically dwarfed trees but rather depends on growing small trees from regular stock and seeds. Bonsai uses cultivation techniques like pruning, root reduction, potting, defoliation, and grafting to produce small trees that mimic the shape and style of mature full-size trees. Now this is all for the bonsai topic, my dear friends. Now let us begin now let us have some knowledge on Ikebana. Ikebana is also a Japanese art of flower arrangement. Now let us begin about Ikebana. Ikebana, arranging flowers or making flowers alive, is the Japanese art of flower arrangement. It is also known as Kado. The tradition dates back to Heian period when floral offerings were made at altars. Later flower arrangements were instead used to adorn the tokonoma alcove of a traditional Japanese home. Ikebana reached its first zenith in the 16th century under the influence of Buddhist tea masters and has grown over the centuries with numerous distinct schools extant today. Ikebana is counted as one of the three classical Japanese arts of refinement, along with Kodo for incense appreciation and Chado for tea and the tea ceremony. Now let us, my dear friends, this is all for today. In this episode, we discussed two topics. One was bonsai and the other was ikebana. I think that you would like this topic. You would like these topics. That is all for this day. That is all for today. I will bring more topics for you very soon. Please like and share my videos and also subscribe my channel. If you want to know about any other topics, then you can write in the comment section. I will also make videos on other topics that you would like to know. Thank you. Thank you a lot, my dear friends.